Good afternoon, America. Good evening, Prague, and good whatever it is where you are watching and listening to this show. We over here at Cinnamon have decided to showcase all the amazing talent that we have the opportunity to work with or to work for. What you are seeing is a new project which we call Creator Stories. Now, Creator Stories is here to give you insight into what it is to be a creator, how to become one, what motivates people to produce content, you know, the whole story. My name is Peter, and my guests today are Zach and Cody, a dynamic duo which resides in the mountains of West Virginia, part of a group called The Sweet Life. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
So we like to start our show with something, with some sort of an icebreaker, just to get the juices flowing. So if for the rest of your life, you would have to either eat A, a seafood pizza, or B, a pineapple pizza, what would you choose?
What you think, Zach?
Discuss.
I mean, I know me. I'd probably that's really tough, man. That's really tough. I guess I'd have to go with the pineapple because you can really get tired of seafood fast. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if I could go the rest of my life just eating seafood.
Well, after your story with the crab legs.
Oh yeah.
There we go. We were going to talk about what it is to be a creator, but let's talk about the crab legs. Sounds like a story the cinnamon community would love to hear.
Well, I mean, everybody around here knows that my man Zach loves to eat. He can out eat anybody on property every day of the week. I don't know, Kyle. He's a hard second though. So telling the story, Zach.
We went on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and they have Captain George's all-you-can-eat crab leg buffet, but they have a whole bunch of other food. But I was trying to keep up with my dad at the crab legs, and I ate way too many, and that was my first time eating crab legs. So like now, just the thought of crab legs, just like.
There you go. Lesson learned. So the first thing we've learned today from The Sweet Life is gluttony's bad. Don't overdo it. Don't try to keep up with Zach's dad when it comes to crab legs. Okay. Well, thank you. That was a fantastic way to start a show. But the first thing I really do want to know about you guys is how did you two pair up? Were you friends forever? Or did you just meet randomly? Is it Craigslist? Did someone else get you together? How did you become a group?
Well, actually, you nailed it with the last one, Craigslist. You know, I just was in search of, another homeboy who could make music with me. And I'm just playing. I didn't find him on Craigslist. No. Both one of our longtime friends, Alex Swafford, he was in another band in the area, and I met him at Five Guys, and he's pretty much the coolest cat ever. And then the very next day, he ended up walking into my business and like no idea. Then the day after that, I ended up at one of his shows where he was playing bass. And I was like, dude, we just lost our bass player in an old band that I was in. I was like, come out and play with us. Boom. He did. And then a couple months later, he introduced me to this guy. And we freaking been best friends ever since, man. It's just,
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of, we just clicked. We started a band like a week later. And,
So how long exactly has this friendship been going on for?
I guess 6 years now.
Yeah.
6 years.
That's a good time. Okay, well that's a very nice intro. Well, speaking of you two guys getting together, I have a question I have to ask. So before every one of these creator stories, I do a little background check on creators, and every time I try to Google The Sweet Life, Zach and Cody, I end up with a 2005 Disney show, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Now, can you answer this for me? Is this a coincidence, or is this like a deliberate thing? Is Zach and Cody like code names?
Yeah, it's very coincidence, and man, we decided that we were just gonna run with it. Yeah, we used to be in a band called We the People, and we decided we wanted to move to the mountains and kind of get away from the being directly in town because we want to be loud and we want to be obnoxious and we want to have shows and people over and just not be having a bunch of complaints constantly. So we got out here and just everything changed slowly but surely. Zach and I just held true to the mountain life and turned from We the People into the Sweet Life. And here we are now. We've been the Sweet Life for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 years. It's been a lot of work on building the property and just making this place into something. And for the past 2 years, we've pretty much been there and just focusing on the studio and the music and everything we can to just put stuff out there.
Well, I do have to say that does sound like a really, really sweet life, and I don't mean the Disney whatever from 2005. That looked trash. Whatever you say. I mean, I grew up Eastern European, so I was never really allowed to watch the Disney Channel because if the boys would find out, you know what would happen. But I checked the show out. It's trash. You guys are the real deal. Congratulations. I would take you any day of the week. So that brings me, since you've been together for 6 years, you've been playing together for 6 years. You're a duo now. When did you create your first public video? Do you remember that? And is it still viewable?
Yeah, actually, it is. I think our first public video, I mean, now, granted, we have a lot of videos from shows and stuff, but what do you think the first one was, Zach? Maybe...
This is the one we did for We the People back in the old studio.
With Jay? Oh, yeah, that is definitely there. It's on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Somewhere in our videos on our Facebook page, it's just scroll down there a little bit and you'll find it.
Well, your Facebook page will definitely, or all your social medias will be featured at the end of this podcast, and we will also put them in the description. So, gang, if you want to see the first video of The Sweet Life, if you want to see the first video Zach and Cody ever made public, we will let you know, even if it's a different platform, because it's Cinnamon. We're open-minded. We like other people. All right. Well, with that said, let's talk about your music, because I actually like your music. I really, really like your music. I think it has. I don't know if this is okay to say these days, but it's got bold. Like it's kind of smoothie, it's kind of vibey, but it also kind of like breaks into a really sick guitar every once in a while, which I really respect. And especially growing up where I did, you couldn't have multiple influences. It was always like an allegiance to your music. Like, are you a metalhead? Are you a rock and roll person? Do you like hip hop? And like all the groups didn't talk to each other about music because that's somehow forbidden, whatever.
Right.
But you guys, you seem to bring several different types into one. And I think that's absolutely phenomenal. I just wanted to ask, like, what are the influences? And like, do you actually have a name for your genre? Or are you the first ones to make the genre? Or what's the story there? What's the story of your sound?
Well, I mean, Cody is more like your hardcore metal. He really put me on the metal. He was the reason why I even got a double bass drum pedal, and now that I have it, I need to use it like all the time. I don't know, but and I like hip hop. Like I like rock as well. I just like how like electronic music is kind of like it's all coming together in a sense, but it's not like it's still separated by the main genre feel of it. And like I feel like we could there is just a big chance to like incorporate everything, but like still take advantage of the fact that we're just two dudes on stage. So
yeah.
Well, it's really cool. It really vibes well. I'm a fan of vibe, and I think you guys got vibe. So keep up the good work. I mean, I love it. Next thing I'm going to ask you is basically you're musicians, right? So obviously you're quite busy right now with setting up the property. I don't know how many people are there with you at the moment. Is it just four of you, or is it more?
It's about five of us. Four.
Yeah, it's five.
Yeah, well, so yeah, it's definitely five of us. We got a whole team, and there's more who live on the property, but like they aren't part of the whole Sweet Life Records design.
Yeah, well, so maybe not from a point of building your property and building the Sweet Life and everything, but more from a perspective of actual musicians trying to perform. What are the challenges you face right now? And I know that's the obvious one, but what is it like trying to, perform right now? Do you guys get to do live shows at all, or?
We do, but very little. And we're trying to respect the guidelines as much as possible and stick to ourselves as much as we can. But as long as we're playing events where there's like quarter capacity, everybody's masked up, stuff like that. Yeah, we're able to still do it, but we steer clear because, it's just best in this time to sit here and get our content up, work on our new music. Like, this is our time to really shine, because I think this is really what's going to set us up for next year, which, we can only hope that we actually are allowed to get out there and get in front of big crowds again, honestly.
Yeah.
But,
well, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, we like, usually whenever we play shows, it's got to be high energy to match our vibe, so getting us in a coffee shop playing in front of 5 to 10 people would just be odd.
Yeah, I don't know if they sell that kind of coffee. I don't know if that goes well with what you play, but I can imagine. It's been quite challenging. I don't know. Do you guys, if you don't mind answering this, do you guys as artists in West Virginia get any like support or?
Do we get support?
Yeah, do you get support from like, I don't know, like the local authorities or something?
No. No, but the thing about it is where we are located, we don't get anything negative from the authorities. At least that's good, because we're far enough away from everybody to where and the couple of neighbors that live within a mile of us who can hear us say they love it. They tell us to open up the doors and play outside as much as possible. So we got that going for ourselves.
That's pretty cool. I mean, there's your groupies right there. The few neighbors.
We did have the cops come to one of our festivals that we had out here last year. But the cool thing is before they left, both of them said, "Hey, well, invite us next year. We want to come hang out." Obviously, we're not going to do that.
I mean, cops are people too, I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure they like to vibe.
No, actually, one of them was one of our friends' brother, and it turned out he's a really cool guy, man.
Oh wow, yeah. Wow, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's talking about musicians, talking about the performing arts. Who is the hottest person right now musically that the world doesn't know about, and you think that they will make it big very soon? Let's start with you. Let's start with you, Cody. Who do you think is the biggest deal? Right? Like, who's the hottest silent musician?
Silent musician.
Yeah, like no one knows about. Like someone who's gonna like explode on the scene.
I mean, honestly, if I had to say, it's crazy because we're really close with these guys, and we met them pretty recently, but instantly hit it off with them. I mean, like best pals for life status. And Mr. Grizzly, they're out of Berryville, Virginia, and dude, when we met them, they were only a 2-piece band, just like us. But the way their guitar player, instead of it was just a guy with his guitar and a dude with his drums, and the way that they like pull it off is incredible because he adds lots of low-end bass frequencies to his guitar to double up the tones and fill out the room way more than you'd expect with just a dude and his guitar and a guy and his drums. It's really crazy, but the thing is they're just so experimental. They hit pretty much all the genres that we like, and everybody that I've seen that's heard them has pretty much just been blown away. It's really crazy. Like, they came in here and played a set right there in that room probably right before the beginning of COVID. And there was other bands, pretty much it was a really late night set, so all the other bands were just packed in the studio with us. And they were watching Mr. Grizzly in there. And you just constantly, you're hearing everybody like, whoa, what the heck? These guys are amazing. It was just, they're the tits.
Okay. There you go, Mr. Grizzly, everyone. Make sure to check them out. What about you, Zach? Do you agree with this? Or do you think that there's someone even better?
I agree with this. I love those guys and I love their sound. But there's just another artist that in particular I think is because he's a different genre, and I've never heard someone like write music the way that he does. And his name's Dan James, and he's one of the people that's actually recording in our studio right now. And he's got a very original sound, and he's really dope. His lyrics are really cool. I resonate with them in a way, and his first album's about to come out here soon. So
Yeah, and he definitely is different, and he has a vibe that could captivate just about anybody whatsoever.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to check out Dan and Mr. Grizzly. I'll make sure to link them in the sort of description down here below. We like to link a lot of things in the description to this show, so people have something to follow up on. But I will definitely check them out. They sound really boss. I can't wait for Dan's first album to come out. Is it going to be available publicly, or is it going to be like on Spotify, or is it going to be on YouTube Music? Is that even a thing? Does anyone use YouTube Music?
It's going to be on all of that stuff. Okay. But actually, Mr. Grizzly's album's about to drop as well. They didn't record it here, but they are dropping one really soon. And from what I'm hearing, it's pretty epic.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to check them out on Spotify. So thank you very much. Those are some tips for music for you guys out there listening or watching. Make sure to follow up on that one. Now, I think you're quite established as performers. Would you be able to give a tip or two to people who are starting out as musicians? Because it's kind of hard to make it in the music industry these days, especially like electronic music is really big, so it's kind of like DJs get a lot of gigs, but like it's kind of harder for people who actually play instruments. Would you be able to give a tip to maybe a young Zach or maybe a young Cody out there waiting to make it big? How about you, Zach? Do you have any tips for our listeners who are trying to make it big in the music industry?
I mean, I'd say pretty much don't rush anything, and just, I feel like, keep practicing and perfecting your craft so that when the time comes for you to make your mark, or you find like the perfect band to be with you, that you'll be ready for it, and it won't be as stressful to write new stuff or gel with new members of the group.
Yeah, I was gonna say something very similar, because I notice how it's been with myself personally, that in certain times, you just get overwhelmed. When you do something constantly, you might need a little bit of a break. Just don't take it. That's my don't take the break. Push through with the music, because every single day that you practice and you put in the work, you get so much better, man. And every single day that you don't, you're getting worse. So,
Did you ever? I have a follow-up question on this one. So those are tips for people who are trying to succeed. Did you ever meet someone who's a musician and you just had to be like, look, dude, you really don't have what it takes. You really don't have I'm going to call it C factor, because I'm pretty sure the other one is copyrighted, but I'm going to call it the cinnamon factor. Did you ever have to have that awkward conversation with someone, or do you just ignore a person if they're really bad?
Well, yeah, I mean, in a sense, I have had that conversation, but it was more so the fact that it was just a lack of trying somewhat. Like, you could see the full potential in anybody's ability whenever they put the work in to try as hard as they can and do it repetitively every day. And that's really what breaks most people from becoming an awesome musician, I've noticed. If you don't have the dedication to do it constantly, as with anything in life pretty much, if you don't have the dedication to work towards it regularly, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. What about you, Zach? Do you ever get to tell people, dude, you kind of suck? you should not quit your day job.
Zach would never say something like that.
I try to steer clear of that, like, very much, because, I mean, there's a way to say it, but I feel like just giving them more tips to do the things that they need to do better, that really exemplifies that thought, would
help more. Because I mean, I used to try to play drums in church, and I was like real young, like 4 or 5, but like I couldn't keep tempo. So like I'd be on the drums like 5-6 minutes, and then they'd be like, all right, let the other drummer play, because I'm in.
Yeah, they did the same thing to me.
Because they don't play that in church. You gotta at least be able to keep time so everyone can be like comfortable. But so I mean, there's a way to do it, but I don't know. I still would try to not say that unless I actually had to say it. But I've never really been in that situation.
Well, well, I will have to say you're very nice and polite people then. Like, I know so many people that go to gigs just to find the one performer who's just not up for the part and just like, this is what I came for.
Yeah.
That is the sad reality nowadays, it seems. Even on social media, it's just tough out there.
Yeah.
People are just ready to get on there and destroy somebody.
I know, right? I've Reddit is such a cesspit, and like Reddit, Twitter, all of it is just let's just be friends, guys. You don't have to drop so many curse words in like 280 characters for a tweet, yet they managed to insult me 320 times. What the how is that even possible? With that, so obviously we were talking about people who aren't as good. So I think that you guys are best performers, but when it comes to like things such as, you know, the imposter complex, like, do you consider yourselves right now a success for what you're doing, or do you think that there's a milestone you would like to hit first before you think to yourself, I've done it?
We are nowhere near. We've got many milestones ahead, but I will say that I believe that we're successful in our timeline.
Yeah.
Because we've made a timeline for ourselves when we first started this thing, and pretty much we've hit every milestone right on schedule. Like,
Okay,
we'd like to be faster though.
So you have like steps along the way, like let's say the 12-step program without the alcoholism, like that you want to go through each step and then like reach the top. Yeah, that's really cool. That's actually really healthy. I've been trying to do that myself. Set like short-term goals, not and just like then go for the big one. But okay, so yeah, I think you're very successful, and I'm glad that you feel that way, because you know you deserve it. Like, if you look behind you, you see what you've done, and I think it's amazing, and I'm glad to see more of it on Cinnamon, you know, as months come past. Let me check the time. I think we have plenty. Yeah. I would like to ask you another question, if that's okay. I have plenty of questions actually. I had fun researching you guys. So you did a collaboration on Cinnamon quite recently in one of our challenges. Correct. With one of our musicians, Riley Q. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? How did you actually get in touch? How did it happen? Like, what's the story?
That's actually our, you know, we got our homeboy Kyle back here. I wish you could see him. I kind of want to turn the camera, but he's back there. He's behind the scenes right now, working to make this amazing. But Kyle, he honestly is the guy who really set us up with Cinnamon, got us in contact, got everything like, you know, moving forward, told us about you guys, got us on the coil thing, and he's really pushing to make a lot of awesome content, not just for us, but for other people as well. And but yeah, so he decided to just contact her because he has a lot of these visual things that he's trying to do to make this whole thing connect between us and the other creators on Cinnamon. And you know, he's got it all day, so if anybody else wants to collaborate, we're ready.
Well, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I did sing a song the other day, so who knows? Looks like the sweet life could use a performer. You know, I don't like the term singer.
Can you dance? That's the question.
Oh, dude, like they call me the dance bird of my generation.
Well, Zach can dance really well, so I think we're gonna have to have a dance off. Maybe that could be our next video.
Yeah, I think it could be the next challenge, like December, like the Cinnamon dance off.
Yeah.
CDO.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's the thing. You know what? Let's just do it.
Well, this is
a shout out to Kyle. Kyle, you're a great help and a great lad to communicate with. I do chat with him on Twitter. I think he does your emails as well. So yeah, shout out to Kyle for making a lot of this happen. You know, probably, you know, go Kyle.
Behind the scenes coming in.
Yep. Yeah, Kyle, come in here. Say hi, man.
You guys.
He's being shy today.
He's being shy. That's okay. I'll probably have him as a guest on a different thing later on as Cinnamon progresses, and this will be a more permanent thing. Well, that said, what would you guys hope to get out of Cinnamon? Because this is a Cinnamon show, so I would like to talk, about your future potential for Cinnamon. What would you like to see in the future? Is there anything you would like to see happen?
Well, I mean, I'd like to see everybody. I just want to see the progression. Honestly, I want to see how it works when everybody's coming together and putting out their content and getting their whole crews and their fan bases from all their platforms involved. Once it becomes that, I think we're going to see a lot more collaborations. We're going to see the live. I really want to see the live aspect. That's a big deal for us because we want to just be able to go ham with what we've got going on live as much as possible with collaborations live, get stuff going in here. I think it'd be really nice because putting that across multiple platforms I just think it's epic.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. What about you, Zach? Do you have anything you would like to see from Cinnamon in the future?
Mainly like the streaming and like maybe incorporating more like see how like cool the live streams can get, because we are planning on doing some really cool stuff with live streaming, and I just can't wait to
hopefully
we'll get the live streaming on as soon as we can. For now, we actually have the deliver crab button. So whenever you're on Cinnamon and you press the deliver crab button, it just brings you fresh crab, and you can eat unlimited amounts of it. Is that something you would be more looking forward to? I keep putting in the pipeline, give it really high priority.
Hey, look, you should do that all day because I love crab. He would definitely be hitting that button because he's a good pal.
Hopefully. As a disclaimer, we are not actually building a crab button for anyone listening who's looking forward to the live streams. We are working on the live streams. That's the official statement, okay? I don't want to get accidental hate on Twitter. So I have literally only like one last question that I would really like to ask you guys, and that's for anyone out there who's listening and you would like to tell them about Cinnamon, how would you pitch it to them?
Interesting. I mean, I've done it quite a few times already, so I'll just dig in there and go with what we've spit in the past. But it's a new platform that is doing things that not a lot of video platforms have done, with pretty much being able to monetize content for people. Like, it seems in our case, it's just been a lot easier to actually see any sort of money show up from putting content out there. And the fact that it's a subscription-based thing, it's just, honestly, I think it's better with no ads, having just only paying a little bit a month to get with everybody, be able to create all this stuff together and get paid back if you do it properly. It's really epic, man. I'm into it, and I want to see how it's going to grow.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Zach? Do you have anything to add, or?
I just love close and personal you guys get with like wanting our feedback as well, because
for sure
that really caught me off guard the first time that happened. I was like, whoa, they're like actually trying to get to know us and like make this like really friendly. So I appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and I think I speak for the entire team that we appreciate not just you guys, but everyone who wants to create in a different environment, especially, and create good stuff in a different environment. Good question I'm going to ask as the last one. I think you guys are doing the next challenge for Cinnamon, I think next month. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us just a little intro? What is it going to be about for all those people who are just waiting for the next challenge to happen? Just can't hold on.
We talked about a couple things, but I'm really into this dance-off challenge now. What, Kyle?
You're in the video game Among Us.
Oh yeah, the video game. That's definitely that's pretty much probably what it's gonna be. But it's a video game that's out, and it's pretty much for all platforms. You can use it on your phone and any systems, I think, right?
Yeah, just doing a challenge, hanging
yeah.
out. Kind of
And we're just gonna have people playing the game and oh, sorry. Wait, what?
Play a little bit of music.
Oh, yeah. Just music and just like pretty much getting their content connected with playing the game and stuff and doing our thing.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. Among Us has been memed across the internet 24/7, especially in the last month and something. It looks like a really fun game. It's very difficult to understand. So for everyone listening who wants to join Among Us, make sure to message to the Cinnamon Twitter. We're going to add you on a massive list. It's going to be hosted by the Sweet Lives. Zach and Cody are going to play some sweet tunes. Who knows? Maybe even members of Team Cinnamon will compete. Not for the dosh, but for the glory. Really, we don't compete for money. We compete for glory. You know, that's what being a startup is all about. Guys, I think that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for being, the sort of guinea pigs for the format and everything. This was amazing. If people want to follow you, where can they follow you?
Instagram at The Sweet Life Music. Facebook at The Sweet Life.
Yeah, and that's The Sweet Life Music as well.
The Sweet Life Music. And
we're on Spotify. We have YouTube as The Sweet Life Music, and obviously Cinnamon.
Yeah. Do you have a Twitter as well, as far as I'm aware? Is it?
We do. Yep, that's The Sweet Life Music as well. We kind of got a handle on The Sweet Life Music.
Yeah, that's good. You need to get those. It gets really tricky when you don't get the right handle on the start. Trust me.
Talk about when we used to be We the People. It was impossible.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, that said, we will feature all of your socials, obviously, in the description of this podcast on Cinnamon, so people can follow you, people can listen to you, and people can see you out. My name was Peter, and this was Creative Stories featuring Sweet Life, Zach and Cody. It was an absolute blast, and I believe you guys have a song to give us at the end as well.
Yes, we do. We're going to play it right in there. We're done. Oh, man. People can go to sleep now.